All right, we got another thing we got to talk about,
right,
man.
go.
That isn't really getting talked about enough.
Which is?
Because if it was anybody else, we'd be smoking this dude to death. LeBron James.
Yep.
What about it?
After game 1.
Yep.
Pulled into the Mari. Punched the whiteboard.
Right.
Allegedly said he was playing with a broken hand.
This is wild.
Flagrant 2 fans.
Okay.
We have dedicated full episodes to the greatness of LeBron James.
Yeah.
And
LeBronos, king of the North.
LeBronos, king of the North, the GOAT, all this type of stuff. But at the same time, we wouldn't be the assholes that we are if we didn't keep it all the way funky about even our favorites.
Yeah.
LeBron kind of went out like a bitch, dog.
Man, I hated that.
He
was
went out like a
wild
whole
corny to
bitch,
me.
dog. Like, you didn't wear a cast this
You had a
entire
cast
fucking
ready?
series.
You had that shit. You brought that shit to the game for when you lost.
The entire series, dog. The first thing we hear about you, before the champagne is even popped, is, well, I played the last 3 games with basically a broken hand, and yada, yada, yada. And, I punched the whiteboard.
And this is where he annoys people.
And that's the thing. I'm like, dog, why give people... maybe I'm nitpicking because the guy does so much, and he rarely makes a misstep as far as, personal character, as a player, all this other shit. This is when people get pissed off at Bron stands. Because it's like, why even fucking mention it at this point?
This is when people hate Bron. And it's not... He's a weird dude with this kind of like when he said about Draymond, and it was a good move because it got him suspended in the finals, but he was like, I'll continue to take the high road as I've always done. It's like, right there, you're not taking the high road.
You're not taking the high road, exactly.
You're not taking the high road.
Not.
And you're really putting yourself on... So who the fuck? That's just such a...
It's like we get... Bro, we
passive-aggressive.
already know you are shouldering a historically large load to get to the finals.
And for a dude who's so brilliant, all you had to do is let somebody leak that story after game 3 or before game 3 when you're pretty sure you're going to, whatever you're going to lose, have someone else leak the story.
Mm-hmm. My whole thing was, why wear the fucking cast? It's so dramatic. It's such...
After the game, dog?
I'm like, come on, son. We know you were doing a lot. We know this is JR. That should be the JR hand. JR should donate his hand to him for that shit. We all understand that. But it's don't give people... This was the first series and finals where people legitimately felt for Bron. We're like, dude, we get it. You're doing a lot. If you got to go somewhere, go. Even Cleveland fans were like, yo, we get it, dude. You know what I'm saying? And now you're putting yourself in this position where it's you need more sympathy, my guy. We know if it's broke, you fucked your hand up, let the story leak, whatever. Yeah, no excuses. You know what I mean? We try our best, yada, yada, yada. And take the high road, quote unquote, like you say you always do.
Yeah.
The fact that he came out with the cast ready... And the shit happened after game 1. He's all, I was wearing a soft cast during the week, but I didn't wear it in front of the media and yada, yada, yada. It's bro, we didn't see you fucking throw an off the glass in the middle of a game and dunk it with that same hand. We didn't see you do a lot of shit with that hand. If it's broke, it's broke.
And you put it on the table. If you want to hide it,
it's
just put it. Even if it was just low the whole time.
Ron, it was a weirdly. I'm not gonna say low class. That's too far.
Not weirdly, because he does this from time to time.
It was a weirdly, just overly dramatic, sappy. I need more sympathy for when I finally leave and go join another team from you guys. Not only did I soar this low, but I did it with one hand and yada yada yada. It's bro, we get it, dude. We get it. And then now I mean to play fucking psychoanalyst and none of that type of shit.
Well, real quick.
But this is the type of thing that you open up and you see, okay, now I know why Kyrie wanted out.
Well, no.
Now I know why certain people are
okay.
There's pressure
let's just back up. Let's back up. I think it's important to acknowledge how heroic it is to play with a broken hand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely heroic. Absolutely heroic. You know what I mean?
Hero.
He
Hero.
When you look back at the games, he didn't attempt a single 3.
Did he really break his hand?
He said he played with what was essentially a broken hand.
He
played heavily contused.
He attempted 3s after game 1.
They said
I watched him hit 3s
numbers.
after game 1.
Somebody could.
I mean, he alley-ooped the fucking. He alley-ooped himself and just hammered it down.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's easy on your hand.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I heard. There was some stat. Somebody could correct me on this one if I'm wrong. He took 7 threes in game 1 and took a combined 6 threes the next 3 games.
Let's get somebody to look. I wish we had
something like that.
I feel like that's off because I saw him.
He didn't shoot many for sure.
A lot.
He definitely didn't shoot many. I do remember him vividly backing down a lot more, doing a lot more post-ups, doing a lot more shit. He wasn't really like
you know what else
hitting them fadeaways.
Is a
like
valid excuse. If his hand is not hurt, you know it's a valid excuse. He was exhausted.
Yeah.
In Game 3, I remember I looked at you because we watched the end of that game together, all three of us, and you and I had talked about like the Rockets shooting so many threes because they were tired. In Game 3, I think Cleveland is down 2 or down 3 or 4. LeBron pulls up from like 30 feet back to try to answer a Steph 3, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just such a bad shot.
Yeah.
Beginning of the possession, just pulls up as he's bringing it up, misses horribly. He was exhausted.
Yeah.
He was exhausted.
Yeah.
That's a valid excuse.
Yeah.
To have a cast ready for when you get swept. Put it on, walk outside, and then you address the media and say, yeah, you know, I broke my hand.
So
It's like,
why can't he wear a cast?
I mean, he could wear a cast, but it's like, dog, you've already went this far.
This is why he don't get calls.
Why?
Because of
we
y'all.
We think of him like
Because
he's
y'all
Incredible
think
Hulk.
he's a fucking superhero, and if Steph Curry rolls his pinky toe, he's in a fucking knee-high air cast for 3 months, and all of us go, "Oh, he's got to heal himself."
Not us.
We didn't give him that
Not
same
us.
energy though.
Hold on. What
We
do you
didn't give
mean,
him
not
that same
you?
energy.
we don't say, oh, we are the guys who are like, oh, Steph played badly, all of a sudden he's hurt.
Yeah.
We kept that same energy with
Yeah.
Steph.
No. I'm talking about literally what happens. He turned his ankle,
he's
and then he
fragile.
was out,
Yeah,
or
he's fragile too.
he turned his knee, and he's out. Right?
Yeah.
That's
fragile guy.
okay.
Okay.
And we allow him to be like that.
Right.
We allow him to sit out. Right? I'm not talking
Yeah,
about.
but we're burying the lead here.
No, but I'm not talking about when we're making excuses for his play, because LeBron played phenomenally throughout the game, these 4 games, right? I'm just talking about if he literally. This is why he gets no fucking calls, is because he's looked at like a superhero. This guy got a broken hand. Right?
That
We're
he
not
did
even.
himself.
We're like, why the fuck you wearing a cast?
Yeah,
pussy.
you did do
What
it
the
Did
fuck
it
is
to
wrong?
himself
You did do it
though.
yourself.
Fucking matters if you do it to
He
yourself
did
or
it to
not.
himself. It matters a lot.
Why?
I remember that playoff
It
run when
hurts
Amari
less if you do
Stoudemire-
it to yourself?
When Amari Stoudemire punched the
It
fucking
hurts
friend.
less if you do it to yourself.
No, it doesn't hurt less, but it's like, yo, this
It's not
motherfucker
as
like
excusable if you
it's
do
not
it
excusable,
after
dog.
a game because you're upset.
So
It's not
all right,
excusable.
So I gotta walk
It's
around.
like, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you know,
I gotta
understand
walk
it was a
around and
frustrating
potentially
thing.
injure my hand even more after I already lost.
Then wear
for
the
y'all.
cast the whole time.
Why?
Why? Why not? Why not protect your hand? You
Why-
don't
why?
mind people
Because
knowing?
he understands. Because he was doing something to protect his narrative. His whole thing was he knows
That's
he's out
what
of
we're
here.
saying.
He knows he's out of here this year. He's doing everything he can to protect the narrative so people don't look at him like a fucking bad guy again when he leaves again. And when Amari did that shit to himself, the news broke out immediately. Everybody knew he punched the fire hydrant. He's wearing his cast. Yada yada yada. LeBron is doing everything he possibly can to make sure he doesn't fuck up his brand by looking like a fucking hothead. Because Enes Kanter did the same thing. Fucking Amari Stoudemire did the same thing. I forgot another player like did the same thing that we killed them for. Like, oh my god, that's immature. How would you do that? How can you let your team down like that, dog? They lost by what? They went into overtime in Oracle with a healthy Braun with 2 hands. How different is this series if he has those healthy 2 hands? Granted, George Hill misses the free throw. JR goes full JR. We understand
Game
that.
3, they could have won easily.
Game 3, they could have won.
This was the
If
closest
he had 2
sweep.
hands. If he had 2 working
No,
hands.
but they were right there with Game 3.
If he had 2 working hands, I think they would have.
Okay, fine. Look,
I
and
honestly-
we can make excuses for it, and that's fine.
I'm not making
It is-
excuses
No,
for
no,
LeBron.
no, no. I'm not saying it is. All I'm saying is we either believe he has a broken hand or we don't.
I'm not positive I
If
believe
he
it.
does have a broken hand, then put the fucking cast on. That's what humans do. We live in the first world.
And I'm cool
We're not
with
in
that.
fucking Syria where you're wrapping it up with toilet paper and just hoping things work out.
And I'm cool
We're
with
in
that.
America. You have a broken hand, you put on a cast. Now, if you don't wear a cast during the series, and I completely understand that, you don't want to let the other team know that you have an injury on that hand. You don't want them to plan differently against you. You don't want them to let you shoot because, there's this hand injury. Now we're going to go under every screen. Now we're going to force you to shoot. We're going to do all this stuff. You want them to respect the 3 like they were respecting it the whole series, right? Why give them anything? It's like in the NFL, they don't release the injury reports until they fucking have to.
You know
right?
what's crazy? You know what's funny?
What?
I'm glad you said that. This is gonna make this is gonna make the NBA have to change that rule.
Ooh.
Especially how they're gonna legalize gambling and they're gonna do all that type of stuff.
Shit.
I guarantee you.
If I'm putting a house on someone, I need to know if you're injured.
I guarantee you they're gonna start having probable, doubtful, questionables, the same type of NFL injury reports from now on. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna lose all that money or have all that money on the line next year when LeBron's playing with 1 fucking hand and nobody knows about LeBron. Like, they're gonna make sure of that shit. They're gonna make that shit fucking mandatory. just
That's a
like in the
great
NFL.
fucking point. Last thing I'm gonna say, I'm not letting him skate on this. As much as
shouldn't.
I love him,
What do you mean?
it is really fucking convenient that right after you get swept, you got a cast ready, not a soft cast, not an air cast.
Yeah.
What looks
A
like
full fucking cast.
No, I broke my hand, I can't
wrapped.
use
It
it,
was
and then
wrapping.
you put the shit right on the table when you sit down, so everybody can see it. All of a
LeBron does
sudden,
nothing.
everybody
Where
should
else
know.
do you put your
I
hands?
think it's a real
This
way.
why he gets no calls because you look
You
at
keep saying
what are you
it. No.
fucking talking about? Where do you put your hand during a press conference?
Just don't
you
wear it
ever
for 10
once
more
seen
minutes.
LeBron put his hand under the table for a press conference?
Yes.
When?
Yes.
When?
Wear it
Name
for
it.
10 more
Name
minutes. Everybody.
He couldn't
have let
never
it-
fucking
Yeah,
once
I've
seen
seen
it.
it before.
10
This is
minutes
what
rock.
LeBron. He
Look,
leans
lean
back.
back-
He
leans
puts
back in the
both
chair.
hands on the mic,
Uh-huh.
and he does that. That's what he does. Or he's holding a drink on one. Never once, and you know for a fact.
He could have let
if you've
10
seen
minutes
his
rock
hand.
and be like, all right,
So
I'm
there's
go
the other
take it.
argument, right?
That's what I'm
So
saying.
the other argument is,
Mm-hmm.
should he be let 10 minutes rock? The smart way to go about it, if I'm his PR manager, I say, hey, go out there, don't do anything with the hand. Tomorrow, you're going to be in a full cast,
Yeah.
and we're going to leak a photo, and people start asking it, and then you go out there and be like, listen, I don't make excuses.
And that's
My
what
hand
I'm
was hurt.
saying.
That's what
Sure.
he should have did.
That
to
being
me.
said, but that's the PR move, right? But the health move, son, if I break my hands, cast it up.
Yeah.
Cast it up.
Yeah.
Like, I cast it up fucking immediately. I've already played 4 games. I gave everything. My team's a bunch of fucking bums that can't show up. And now I can't even wear a fucking cast. Like, put the fucking cast on.
I don't know, man. I just think it was a super.
It
LeBron
is-
does nothing by accident. Everything
Yes.
is super calculated. He has the
And
most
it's not
calculated.
always
smart
well
of all time.
calculated.
Yeah.
It's not always, especially with his image and his shit like that. It's
Mhm.
not always well calculated. Like that comment.
Not
of,
well
I'm gonna take-
calculated in the sense that, like, you know,
One fuck up.
It
it
doesn't always
doesn't-
come across. Oh, the other fuck up with I didn't mind it, but listen, I get to wake up tomorrow and be LeBron James. You guys are gonna go back to your
Oh,
lives.
the greatest press conference of all time.
Amazing to
Are you
us.
kidding me?
Amazing to us. Not a well calculated PR move.
That's
He had to
what I'm
apologize
saying.
for.
Yeah, like he's,
Why? What's
he's-
wrong with that?
He
I'll-
That's
shouldn't have to
true.
apologize, but he did because people didn't like it.
It's not well calculated in the sense that, like, it protects him, but the fucking the you know.
He's not going to
The
sell
ripple
burgers.
effect.
He's
The
not going to
ripple
sell
effect to
burgers
other
with it. He's not
people
going to sell
and
sneakers
the
with it,
times-
whatever.
Yeah, like it's
And
it's
LeBron
weird.
is a guy who cares about that. Whether we want to admit it or not. And listen, you're talking to dudes who love LeBron.
Yeah, bro. Like
I'm
I
willing
got
to say this dude is the greatest ever, which I didn't ever think I would say.
Yeah.
But that is just, come on, dog.
It was
We
like-
gotta
it was-
keep that
Everybody
same
in
energy.
every what energy?
The energy
Nah,
of
what energy? Because everybody in every press conference after they get injured, they got their shit wrapped up. They got their knees wrapped up. They got their shoulder wrapped up. They're coming. Every pitcher after a baseball game is coming to the fucking press conference with ice on his shoulder.
Yeah,
LeBron got a
because that
legit
is
broken
something-
hand.
Because that is something that happens within the heat of the game. If he's sitting there with a fucking broken shoulder because he threw his shoulder into a fucking wall because he's pissed off.
Oh, so if you do it yourself, you're not allowed to.
No, my thing
No.
is like, yo, let that 10 minutes rock, get your press conference out, and then put on
also,
the
if
fucking
Steph
cast.
Curry came to a press conference with his shoulder heavily iced,
Yeah.
and I saw it, and they had just lost, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here, just
Yeah.
wait 10 minutes."
And we've-
Do
and
your
we've
fucking
done the
press
same
conference.
shit.
You're not gonna break your hand more in the 10 minutes you're at the podium.
If you have
Do
a
it
broken,
later.
if you had a broken shoulder, not like a sore one, but just a broken shoulder, and he came with ice on his shoulder, I'd be totally fine with
But
that.
we did the same shit with Steph, the series that they did lose against the Cavs. And it was like, oh my God, you know, he's hurt and yada, yada,
And,
yada.
and Kaz
Oh.
talked about it one time, and I regretted. You know, afterward, you think, I wish I had said that.
Yeah.
Kaz was mentioning how good the Warriors were, and he said like Steph Curry was hurt too, and I wanted to be like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I wish I had thought in the moment, no, he wasn't. He just played bad.
He wasn't any more hurt than anybody else.
He wasn't hurt when he hit those threes against, I think, Houston or the Clippers or whatever, and he says, I'm here, I'm back, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit. And then, like, a couple series later, oh,
Sure.
well, you know, he was.
End of the
he was hurt.
season.
I'm just giving him the same energy that I'm giving LeBron.
No,
That's
but
all
this
I'm
is
saying.
different. Steph didn't
And that
have
was
a
in the
broken
heat of the game.
bone in his body.
That was in the
That
heat
is
of the game.
different than just being a little beaten down from a tough season.
Yeah.
LeBron doesn't have a cast because he went through a tough season and his hand hurts.
And medically
He has
speaking-
a cast
medically speaking.
because let me just finish. He has a cast because he has a broken hand. If that is what it is. If he's faking it, fuck everything.
Okay, real quick. Medically speaking, what we heard is contusion. That's like a break, whatever, or a really bad contusion. If it's a contusion, the best remedy is ice.
Yeah.
If he comes with with ice on his hand, that's actually a better treatment. And I'll be like, all right, fair enough. This guy hurt his hand.
Yeah.
Coming with a cast seemed OD. And I also personally,
I'll be honest, coming with
I texted y'all
ice
this.
is some pussy ass shit. That's some soft pussy ass shit. You come on ice on your hand?
I would.
Oh, did someone
that's
slap
a better
your hand
Why
on a
can't
foul?
you treat your hand?
Fuck
Why
that.
can't you treat your
It's
hand?
just pussy.
and I think
Ice
that's
on your
treat your
fucking
hand.
hand.
And I think
A
that's what he's
cast is
saying.
legitimate. A cast
No,
is. I don't want to
ice
move
is
my
treatment.
hand
That's-
because if I move my hand, I could affect the braking going on there. I have to limit motion. Ice
reduces swelling, which is what a bruise causes.
And that's
Swelling
what
is
it looked
for
like. I saw the
fucking
swelling in
gays.
the hand.
Give a fuck
And that's what
about
he's trying to
swelling.
say, man. Like, I'm not saying it was broke or not, but the dude did kind of sell it. He did
didn't
sell it a
kinda.
little
He
hard,
sold
man.
it.
Like, he sold it a
He
little
did.
hard. It's like, dog, we understand you had a heavy load. We don't have to drag any more sympathy points out of us, bro. We get it. You did a lot for this team.
The expectation is so high for this guy. He can't even have a broken hand. It's really sad.
Hey, listen.